In today's episode, pride isn't optional, it's human. Hey, this is Stef, and welcome to the Together Moving Forward podcast. A podcast helping 2S LGBTQI people embrace self love and self respect so you can celebrate yourself with pride. In this episode, you'll discover why your LGBTQ identity is worthy of respect without conditions, and how releasing self blame restores pride. How pride often begins not within yourself, but through connection and being seen. Why a single act of kindness can become a turning point towards healing, belonging, and self love. Today's conversation is about reminding you of one essential truth: you're worthy exactly as you are. Hello again, I'm Stef Vachon, and I'm a human being. Welcome back to the Together Moving Forward podcast. Embrace your 2S LGBTQIA plus identity with pride through self-love. No matter where you stand in the 2S LGBTQIA plus spectrum, we are all connected. And if you ever struggle to fully love and respect yourself, you're not alone. And this podcast is here to help you. As someone who has navigated my own journey of self-acceptance as a queer, I know the power of hearing voices that reflect our own experiences. In this podcast, you'll hear real stories and conversations that leave you with practical tools, fresh perspectives, and the confidence to embrace who you are with pride. To start, I need to say that I'm not a psychologist, a specialist, or someone with a college degree. I'm just a regular guy here to share with all of you and support each other. I will share my journey, and we will all share our journeys together. We'll learn from each other how to move forward. Today's episode is a follow up to episode 53, The Power of One Act of Kindness. The message behind it is bigger than my story. So today, I want to take a step back together. I want to highlight the three most important lessons from that last episode, explain them more deeply, and talk about why they matter so much. Not just for me, but for anyone who has ever felt invisible, rejected, or unworthy. Highlight number one: your LGBTQ identity is worthy of respect without conditions. The first and most important lesson from that last episode is this: your LGBTQ identity is worthy of respect simply because you exist, not because you survived difficult things, not because you stayed strong, not because you proved anything to anyone. Growing up, I truly believed that respect had to be earned. That if I was quieter, tougher, or more invisible, maybe people would finally leave me alone. Maybe then I would deserve to be treated better. And when respect doesn't come, something very dangerous happens. We stop blaming the cruelty and we start blaming ourselves. We begin to think, if people treat me this way, maybe it's because something is wrong with me. But here's the truth I want you to hear clearly: disrespect does not define your value, it reveals someone else's limitations. Respect begins when you stop questioning your worth and start allowing yourself to take up space exactly as you are. Highlight number two: pride often begins with being seen by someone else. The second big lesson is about pride. We often talk about pride as something we must find inside ourselves. And yes, that matters, but it's not always where pride begins. When you've spent years hiding, being rejected, or feeling unsafe, self love doesn't magically appear overnight. Sometimes it feels impossible. In my story, pride didn't start because I suddenly decided to love myself. It started because someone invited me in. Someone looked at me and said without words, "You belong here." That moment didn't erase my pain. It didn't fix everything I had lived through, but it gave me something essential: proof that another reality was possible. Sometimes pride is not born from confidence, it's born from connection. And that first moment of being seen can change the way you see yourself forever. Highlight number three: one act of kindness can become a turning point. The third lesson might seem simple, but it is incredibly powerful. One act of kindness can change or even save a life. We often underestimate small gestures, a smile, an invitation, a simple moment of inclusion, but we never truly know what someone else is carrying. In episode 53, that single invitation didn't fix my life, but it gave me so much hope. And hope matters more than we realize. Hope is often what keeps someone going when everything else feels too heavy. This is why kindness is not small. In our LGBTQ community, kindness can be a lifeline, not because it solves everything, but because it reminds someone they are not alone. So when I look back at episode 53 and reflect on it today, everything comes back to these three truths. Your LGBTQ identity is valid and worthy of respect. Pride often begins when someone reminds us we are not invisible. And one simple act of kindness can become a turning point in a life. None of this requires perfection. None of this requires having all the answers. It only requires humanity. And that is how healing begins. That is how we move forward together. I'm always looking for inspiring guests for the podcast, and I'd love to have you or someone you know share your journey with pride. The world needs your story, it has the power to change lives, and your voice matters. Please reach out and send me an email today. It is already time to say au revoir just for now. So please join me every Monday and Thursday for brand new episodes of the Together Moving Forward podcast and learn how to embrace your trans LGBTQI plus identity with pride through self-love. If you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode on how to love and respect yourself. If you found this episode useful, share it with a friend or someone you know in our 2S LGBTQI plus community so you can help them embrace self-love. It might seem like a small gesture, but it truly makes a huge difference. Wherever you're from in the world, we are all connected. Remember, solidarity beats hate. The more we unite, the stronger we become. Because at the end of the day, we are all equally human and we all deserve the same rights. Before we close with our weekly positive thought, I want to tell you what this one personally means to me, especially with this episode. In episode 53, we ended with this reminder: I am worthy of love and belonging. For a long time, those words felt impossible for me to believe, not because they weren't true, but because pain had convinced me otherwise. Today, when I say them, they remind me that worth is not something I earn. It's something I return to again and again. You are worthy of love and belonging, not when you're healed, not when you're stronger, not when you're perfect, but right now, exactly as you are. Now is the time to put your hand on your heart and let's repeat it again. You and me together, this week, positive thoughts. I am worthy of love and belonging. Yes, I am worthy of love and belonging. From shame, guilt, silence, and rejection, to pride, freedom, healing, and love, together moving forward. Thank you so much for being here with me today and for taking this moment to reflect with me. I truly appreciate it. See you real soon. Ciao. Subscribe now and share to uplift, empower, and make a real difference in our community.